Right, it's been 8 or 9 days since I dug up the ensete Morellii banana and cut off all the leaves ready for storage, and now it's dried out. In that time it has pushed out a few inches of roll at the top. That's nothing to worry about. As you can see, all the cut leaves have dried. If I hold it up, you'll see there's no water coming out. All the moisture is drained away. If you look at the bottom, I have cut away some of the roots about 5 or 6 days ago, just so it would dry out quicker, because they're not needed. I've taken away all the compost that I can from around the roots, and it's totally bone dry now. If you look at the base plate, you can see how it's dried out. There's no wet or soft surfaces. The end of the roots have all dried as well, so that's pretty much ready to go into winter storage. Now this plant's only 6 months growing this year, so it's about a year old, this plant at most, from when it started as probably tissue culture. If you've got a second or third or fourth year plant, it'll be much bigger than this, so a lot heavier to handle, and also will take longer to dry out, because we're talking about a plant maybe 4 times bigger than this at this stage. So this is only about 18 inches, 2 foot tall. So the point is, if it's a lot bigger, it'll take a lot longer to dry out, so make sure you give it time. Make sure you get rid of all the compost at the bottom. So that's dried out. Next stage is to dust it with some green sulphur powder, which is this stuff here. You just put it over all the surfaces that have been cut and could possibly rot. And ideally, if you've got a brush, just brush that over, as I haven't. I'm just going to rub it over the surfaces like that. As well as doing all the roots, I'll continue and put some down the top there as well, and all around, so that's what I'll do next. So I've dusted over all the surfaces of the ensete Morellii banana. Now what you need to do now is find a pot to stand it in. You don't need any compost, anything in there whatsoever. All you need to do, just pick up your banana plant, place it in there so it's stable, and then that's ready to go into storage. And this works for Morellii, Montbéliardii, and it should also work for the straight green form as well. The only difference being, for the straight green form, it does need warmer overwintering temperatures. So whereas this can probably float down to 1 or 2 degrees for winter, ideally about 5 to 10, the straight green form needs a minimum of 7 or 8 degrees, ideally 10 or 12 degrees. But other than that, they can be stored in exactly the same way, prepared as I've shown, and then stored somewhere dry and dark where moisture won't get to it. So that's ready to go into storage, so I'll put that away now. So I've decided to store my ensete bananas in this cupboard in the side of my house, which is access from outside. Just stored in its pot. It'll stay here now from end of September until early April, mid-April, and throughout from the winter, from time to time I will check on it. What I'll look for is these, especially these outer leaves and the base, if they're starting to decompose, if they're starting to go soggy and wet, then I would remove the soggy portion, cut back a little bit and put some more sulphur powder in and just remove any excess water if that has developed. As this is a dry place, dried it out for 8 or 9 days now, hopefully this will be fine as it is and it will come back into life amazingly after being stored for so long next spring, and it will grow much bigger next year. So that's how you overwinter ensete bananas.